Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Shadow and Bone, Season 2, Episode 4, Every Monstrous Thing. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go!
Grisha, dining beside true Ravkan soldiers is a bit much for all our stomachs.
Fuck
We're all
off.
Ravkan here.
Doesn't to murder my father and stage a coup. That's
My father.
absent their darkling.
And I will lead them.
Today marks the start of a new era of cooperation between Lantsovs and the Grisha. I'm delighted to announce my engagement to Alina Starkov, the Sun Summoner, a new leader of the Second Army.
You were a Lantsov heir. If we don't commemorate it, it'll look as though we have something to hide. I'll keep it small, extended family only. I'll have my seamstress run you up something appropriate.
I know.
Shire.
Fuck you.
Did you agree to lead the Second Army? The engagement was there to protect you, not put you on the front line.
What about the other Grisha who need protection? Ravka's on the brink of civil
She is
war.
taking on her
Weird
responsibilities.
soldiers killing Grisha. We came here to unite Ravka.
You came here for Ravka. I came here for you.
I know, sweetheart, but
You're my flag, Alina. You are my nation. Not this swamp.
I know. But there are also big things at stake here, my loves. Fuck off and die. January, you were stronger than him and you always will be.
He's a traitor. And a useful lesson to me.
She served you loyally since she was a child.
Yes.
Endured years of abuse on your orders.
Exactly,
And
you piece of
abused her.
shit.
Everything I know, I learned at your knee.
I was a fool to think
She's
I could
already
steer you to
admitted
it.
that
Spare me your
she
quaint
thinks
ideas,
you're wrong.
It'll give me some comfort to know that you're with me.
Big statement from
shadows.
Arcaz.
I wouldn't miss it.
Get out of the city as fast as you can. Find
He
your brother
cares about
and
you.
never look back.
I can promise you only that Pekka will beg for his death.
And she cares for you right back.
Danger? Fun.
This sounds like it could be some of their plan from Six Crows, Crooked Kingdom.
Not many people can.
Covers my whole face.
I kind of like your face.
It will mimic it in every way.
This really feels like the Crooked Kingdom plan.
And say you can't do this without me, yeah? And that you hate it when we're angry at each other, but sometimes brothers fight. When all
Exactly.
this is over, you're gonna...
They'll provide us with the cover we need.
I love their
All
plans.
of Pekka's businesses.
The way they
clubs,
show them off.
brothels.
See you there.
No mourners.
No,
No
funerals.
Why do you guys say that? Why isn't it just good luck or be safe?
We like to keep our expectations low.
Yes, I was afraid of this.
You can lead with your hearts. The Second Army will be better for it.
You make a good point.
That's our go.
Well,
Expect us to trust you unless you're willing to share information.
Confronting him would be suicide.
Tell them about the dark creatures.
They are Nichevoya. Nothing. No bullets, blades.
Can't keep having romantic moments alone. You can talk to each other, but already someone overlooked you.
Alternative to boost my power.
Alternative.
He created soldiers of shadow.
No.
Maybe
Talk to David about what it
maybe I
cost
can
him.
tear down the fold by creating. And now he has monsters who walk with him.
Give me
Alina,
time to track the
stay
firebird. There's always a
strong.
cost to
Don't
those.
give-
It's not worth
the
the
easy
risk.
answer is not the answer here.
The most consequential detail, the cost. Okay, you're asking the wrong questions.
Just tell her
There is
about him.
something that you something may extend between you two. A shared bond of some sort that persists beyond what happened in the fold.
I share no bond with Kerrigan.
I wouldn't be so
Not
sure.
by your choice, Alina.
The people watching swore she had lightning in her hands.
blade so sharp it could cut shadow.
It's a bedtime story. My culture has the best myths.
The Sea Whip was a myth. So was the stag, and they were real.
It could be
She
real.
killed an unkillable army.
Our mutual friends in Ketterdam might be the perfect crew for the job.
Is this how they're going to keep them relevant to the Shadow and Bone plot going forward? Because I was perfectly fine to just have them do their own little Ketterdam shenanigans that didn't affect the wider plot, but are they going to really recruit them and that's going to be how we keep them useful for the Shadow and Bone plot? I'm not saying that critically, I'm just saying it's just the decision to bring them into this means that like they have to change things. Please say this is part of the plan. Please say it's part of a plan. It would be very them for this to be the plan.
Please.
Hey!
Inej. She's too good.
I'm going to get you off this ship. Follow me. Come.
Make sure you retrieve your daggers. This is the cat's plan, right?
Do your worst.
Oh no!
Yep. Here comes the plan. Quite the Crooked Kingdom plan, if I do say so myself.
Both got hit bad. Sweet shop. Yeah, that's not near the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
There will be outbreaks at all of your establishments.
What did you do, boy?
He's lying. No one has the power to spring a prisoner from Helgate, not even
Exactly. This is my crows.
And I need you to make it look real. I need something that mimics firepox. A powder
Here we
that
go.
can spread easily.
Well, it will look and feel the same.
You.
I'd reconsider. If you want to see your Kalish prince again.
Never underestimate Kaz Brecker.
Tell everything you love, Brecker. What did you do?
I buried him. 6 feet deep.
This is the Crooked Kingdom.
He went
All of
into
this.
that box so easily.
What the hell do you want?
I want you to remember.
Remember what?
You took everything.
You ran.
This is insanity to me. Like, we're getting part of the end of the second book on the Six of Crows duology before we've even had the Six of Crows duology.
And if it hadn't have been me, it'd have been somebody else.
Bad luck for Albie that it was you.
You tell me where to find my son!
This is Kaz's dream come true.
Speak my brother's name, and your son
Fuck,
lives.
yep. Kaz Brecker. Fucking hell. What the fuck? Of course. That's silly.
Just realize, no matter his aims, he will always be a second son.
Jesus Christ.
Only I can make you
Pompous
quit.
little idiot you are.
The Ravkan people are fed up of being held hostage by Grisha tyrants.
Your father's the king and he's not
Some
a
Grisha
fucking
are good
Grisha.
people.
Fucking hell, some.
You can help me.
My son!
Your son is in his bed, I'm sure.
Wanted in connection to the murder of Tantaline.
And Constable, what's his
My
face?
son! My son! Before I got to know you, I can't make you any promises.
This is all happening very
Predict
differently.
what might happen between us. I'd like to find out.
Me too.
You may have gathered this about me, but silences, they really aren't my favorite thing.
I just love them so much. And I will watch them fall in love in every universe. In every way possible.
The Drakenasha was trafficking in dentures. I had to set them free.
Oh, he said he
It
knew
was
she'd be at
unexpected.
his
I had
side.
to make a decision in the moment.
You chose strangers. I can't have a weak link in my crew.
I do one thing without consulting you, and I'm a weak link. You can't be serious.
I need to know that I can count on my
Kaz.
powers. If we can't rely on each other, we have nothing.
So just like that.
You get to decide everything always.
I'm out.
Or is he trying to free her so she will go to look for her brother?
Commoner. My mother was as put off by commoners as she claims. I wouldn't be here now, would I?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna...
I'm sure.
I've heard the whisper since I was a child.
Mm-hmm. And his brother even saying, my father.
Given all the royal inbreeding, I think being a bastard's probably a point in my favour.
Agreed.
You actually care about Ravka. Make a good king.
Coming from you, that means a lot.
You're going to be insufferable now, aren't you?
Well, I'm already insufferable.
Agreed. And we love you for it.
Revealed our location to the gamblers and freeloaders
Yes.
you call friends.
That's rich.
Including to the Darkling.
You make yourself ridiculous.
The Darkling lives. We are at great risk if our location is compromised. Sacrifice us all for your pride and stupidity.
He would.
Reach. Nikolai. Yes, we
Die
all know
already,
he's
please.
pretentious, condescending, a man of the people.
Yep. I knew this was coming. We all did. It was in the titles and if you read the books, but yes.
His intended should.
You absolute moron. You brought this on yourself, silly. Oh, that is a lot. I mean, Nikolai will feel it on some level, but...
It's not working!
Form. These brave, lovely ones.
I always told you were meant for more.
Die.
Power suits you because I care about you.
Disgusting man.
I'll be back for you.
Sweetheart. Your face does not define you and you still look lovely. Brave boy.
Like creating the fold?
Your obsession with the fold is naive. Destroying it won't solve Ravka's problems. They've hated us
Fucking
and
hell.
hunted us long before the fold existed. Now stop this. Please.
Jesus Christ, this man.
Come with me.
Oh god. Elena, I love you.
Come on, we gotta go.
We are rattling through the events of these books, my goodness. This episode was freaking intense. From like Kaz enacting his revenge against Pekka Ronings that comes at the end of Crooked Kingdom, like stuff kept happening and I was like, this is the end of Crooked Kingdom. This is the end of... And like at the end of Crooked Kingdom, it's not just Pekka Ronings they're going after. It's like there are multiple different fish they're frying. So when they come to adapt that plot line, which is kind of a big plot line, how are they going to do that? So watching Kaz finally get his revenge against Pekka was very satisfying. It was stressful because I was like, this happened in the books, this happens after a lot of other events, so is it going to succeed or not? I suppose Pekka could come back. I mean, he's signed a confession for murder, but he's also got a lot of power and resources, so I could see him somehow still striking back against Kaz or whatever going forwards. But that was very intense. The plan, I mean, with the crows, you've always got to look for the plan within the plan within the plan. The plan, the things that you, the events that you see happening, what is the actual plan? I love how they all work together, that most of all. So watching as the plan came to pass, something straight from the Crooked Kingdom was everything. And Kaz finally being able to stand up to Pekka and making him remember his brother, even if he couldn't remember the name, making him remember them. Because yes, like there's definitely when when you read the books, it's definitely a lot of like, you know, Kaz has also swindled people, Kaz has also wronged people, but I think you don't have to leave people to die or do it to that degree. And to be honest, if you do it, be prepared to reap the consequences one day. My favourite part of the entire plan is that the little boy was never in any danger, but he just thought he was. I really don't know, like I said, that's like a chunk of Crooked Kingdom that they've just adapted here, and we haven't even done any of the stuff that precedes Crooked Kingdom. And by the sounds of it, the crows are going to go off on a quest to find a sword. I'm not complaining about that. It's just like a whole other plotline happening. It's everything, but it's like I'm just we've gone to here, we've gone to there. They're doing a really good job, but my brain can't handle this. Wylan and Jesper are everything. There's a part of me that is like, this isn't the way they get together in the books, like it's a lot slower, but then there's the other part of me that's like, yay, they're together. And when they are, like I said, they are younger in the books, so it also makes sense that it would not be quite as fast moving. And in a way, I feel like I'm getting to watch two of my favourite characters start a relationship, falling in love, in a whole new way that is still true to who they are, but is new. And like, yes, I'll take it. I'll read the books and I'll get one version of their story, and I'll watch this and I'll get another. I'm not complaining about that. They are very sweet. I'm sure there's a bumpy road ahead. There's a lot of things you have to learn about both of them ahead. But I really, really enjoyed that. Then we have Kaz and Inej. Kaz getting closer than ever to her. Now, with Kaz, you never entirely know what is going on in that brilliant brain of his. Is he just pushing her away because he truly, like, he you know, she knew what a big deal Pekka Rollins was. She knew what a big deal this night was, and he even said to her, it will mean everything to me having you there in the shadows while I'm doing this. Like, he made a point of making a vulnerable statement to her that he doesn't normally make, and she didn't show up. She found somebody else's pain more important. I could see him genuinely just being hurt by that. But I also think with Kaz, there's a part of him that thinks sees what a good, wonderful person Inej is, and thinks she deserves better than being stuck with him, and she deserves better than being stuck with the crows. She could do so much good if she was free to make her own choices. She should be free to do whatever she wants. No one should be telling her what to do, and she shouldn't be feeling beholden to anybody ever again. That was just where Kaz's head is at. You never know entirely how far between the two things he is. I think there's obviously a bit of both will be true, but where his head is primarily at, you never 100% know with Kaz unless you're in there with him. I wasn't expecting to like get the Kaz backstory, deal with it so quickly. You know, it's at the point where I'm like, Pekka Rollins is going to come back for more. And like I said, I suppose this was only part of the plan that they didn't. There's just so much. My brain is all over the place with this plotline. It's just, and it's happening at the same time that the Dark Thing's attacking the engagement celebration. Like, So, yes, so much is happening. I didn't think Nina was going to betray them to Pekka. I was pretty sure she was going to tell Kaz and they were going to use that somehow within the plan, because she's kind of seen how resourceful they are, and she also would have known that Pekka's not exactly an honourable dude you can trust. And I would have thought it was not particularly true to Nina's character, though perhaps at this early stage of them working together, maybe it would have been more believable for her to betray them, but I'm glad that they didn't have to do that, because I would have been like, if they had. Stress. Everywhere stress. So, what's up next for them is Talia and Zoya are going to rock up in Ketterdam. And so my brain is just like, and be like, hey, want to go on a quest with us? I am here for this. Times 1,000. Some of my favourite characters banding up with some of my other favourite characters to go on a whole new quest that, as far as I'm aware, isn't from the books at all. I don't even think this quest for the Blade is in the books. Like, yes. I do think there's a little bit of them like, how can we make the crows relevant to Shadow and Bone, given that this show is not called Six of Crows, and we've kind of brought these characters in that actually had not, like last season they were on their like quest to get Alina. I'm here for it. Like I said, it's kind of like getting bonus stories with my favourite characters. I do hope at some point they do adapt Six of Crows, but I almost wonder what will they do at that point, because the book is set 5 years after Alina's books, so no spoilers about any of the endings or anything, but it is set in Ketterdam. We meet a couple of characters from the original series, they come through, but it's not a huge link. Nina is actually a child I suppose a child, like a young, she's like a young, early teens, preteen, like she's a kid during the events of Shadow and Bone, and then because they're all teenagers in Sticks with Crows, she's that bit older, like going out on missions and stuff, which is when she runs into Matthias and the whole backstory events happen. So that is kind of how separate they are in the book. So going with this, are we gonna like continue with like all of the other characters and their plot lines? Like, are we gonna go into Rule of Walls and stuff? Like, just so much is happening. So then when we cross the ocean, we get to the announcement of the engagement and Vasily. Now, I told Vasily to hurry up and die, to go and die. And I didn't think it was going to be in episode 4. I suppose it's the midway point, it makes sense. But whoa, Vasily just hurry up and died. It's not a loss. The king, not a loss. Nikolai would be a much better king than both of them. And I mean, I've read what happens next. I'm not telling you anything either way, but like, you know, neither of those men are great losses to society. And I think they made a very good point of showing you just, not only with Vasily being the one ordering the Grisha to be attacked, which I don't think happens in the books, not in the same way, also what he did with Mal. Now, I could 100% be misremembering the books, but I don't think Mal gets taken by Vasily to go face punishment for deserting in the books at all. Presumably somebody else would now be in charge of the First Army, which would mean that person could just pardon him. But at the same time, everyone's in hiding and the Darkling is in town, so it's not like everyone, like, it just, Mal's not gonna be doing. I think Mal's just with them at this point. Or is he off looking for the Firebird? I'm genuinely like, there are details my brain is fuzzy on, because it's one of those things where you know the story so well and then you begin to doubt how you know the story. It's what I'm finding today, especially as like the events are playing out differently and I'm like, is this right? So seeing the ball, the everything, how ridiculous the aristocracy of Ravka is. I mean, all aristocracies are ridiculous. How out of touch they are. It really does show you what a wonder it is that Nikolai does care, that he does actually want to make a difference and help the people instead of just reveling in his own superiority and privilege. I love that they addressed similarly in the books, like, you know, maybe I'm a bastard, maybe I'm not, but to be honest, I'd probably be quite happy if I was, because I agree. Yeah, they're doing such a good job of, I love Nikolai. Like, I think if I remember rightly, when they announced the casting of Nikolai, I feel like people were really unhappy, and I never was. I was like, yeah, Nikolai, and I believe that he could act the part if they'd cast him. And then seeing him, I've been like, Nikolai, hello. I'm thrilled with Nikolai. I'm thrilled with Wylan, and just like I'm thrilled with Tamar and Dolia, just like I was thrilled with everyone from season 1. This show is brilliant. I actually love the fact that it's a mixture of faithful adaptation and completely its own thing, but at the same time my brain can't quite get its head around what's happening half the time, because it's like, how is this exactly the same but totally different? Mainly the Six of Crows is totally different, but then it randomly became this. It's a lot for my little noggin. It's a small noggin. So yes, the ball, Nikolai having to watch as his brother and father died, like, it was a lot. People made it into the tunnels, some of them, I'm sure, but there were also dead bodies down there. How was everything going to go next? This is happening a lot, like, sooner than my brain remembers it happening in the books. But it's just so well done. Events are moving at a pace that makes sense. Like, I feel like potentially in a book you can spend more time on the slower moments, or more time on the kind of getting from A to B. You can sort of have internal monologues with characters, whereas there's not really time in a show. If you just have episodes where literally nothing happens, people will get bored and they'll want more to happen. It's different. I also feel like potentially the second book people don't like. I don't know what I mean, I liked all 3 of the books. I think they complement each other very well, but this was a lot. This was such a lot. The fight, dramatic. Oh, Nadia's brother, his name is freaking my name. Brain fog, my brain, and names. The worst thing. Nadia's brother. I was like, no, your arm. Also seeing Nadia and Tamar get closer is very lovely as well. I'm just this wonderful, wonderful adaptation of this show. The Darkling is as unhinged and possessive as ever. I do not and have never understood people who ship Darklina. I understood it before you knew who he really was, or like shipping the idea of them before you knew who he really was. He is possessive, creepy stalker boyfriend. Not good. Yes, stress all around going forwards, but excitement as well. Thank you so much for watching this reaction.